every architecture choice leaves a trail. In this section, we'll turn business, technical, compliance, and operational concerns into clear deliverables, decision records, diagrams, and review-ready documentation for a regulated digital asset issuance platform. Up to this point, we've moved from market context to platform architecture to stakeholder workflows. Now we'll convert that understanding into concrete architecture outputs and decision records that business, engineering, compliance, security, and regulatory teams can review and use. In regulated digital issuance, architecture deliverables are not just paperwork. They are shared evidence. They connect business intent, regulatory obligations, security controls, and implementation decisions before ambiguity turns into risk. A strong architecture package is not a single document. It is a set of views, each designed to support a different decision. Executives need the business rationale, operating model, risk posture, and major trade-offs. Architects need system context, components, integrations, deployment, and network design. Compliance and security teams need control mapping, KYC and AML flows, transfer rules, threat analysis, and audit evidence. Engineers need APIs, smart contracts, data flows, environments, and sequencing. Together, these artifacts keep strategy, control, and delivery aligned. Think of an architecture decision record as a flight recorder for system design. It captures not only what the team chose, but why that choice was made. In blockchain work, that matters because decisions about chains, token standards, custody, privacy, and settlement carry real risk. A useful ADR records the context, options considered, trade-offs, decision, and consequences. Later, teams can defend the design without reopening the same debate from the beginning. To make an ADR effective, keep it concise while preserving the reasoning behind the choice. Start with the context, the business need, regulation, constraint, or risk. Then record the real options considered, including paths that were rejected or deferred. Next, explain the trade-offs across cost, complexity, security, compliance, scalability, privacy, interoperability, and operations. Finally, state the decision, its consequences, and the conditions that should trigger a future review. For example, consider a regulated token issuance platform. A public chain may offer reach, liquidity, and transparency, but it can also expose data and reduce operational control. A private or consortium network may improve compliance and governance, but limit ecosystem access. The ADR captures that trade-off and justifies a hybrid choice: permissioned issuance controls with optional interoperability for public settlement. Architecture decisions are only as strong as the context behind them. Before selecting platforms, custody patterns, or settlement flows, separate what is known, what is assumed, and what remains unresolved. Business goals, asset type, jurisdiction, investor eligibility, operations, and security obligations all shape the solution space. Good decision records make those forces explicit, then connect each choice to a capability, risk, or compliance need. That prevents hidden assumptions from becoming accidental architecture. Professional architecture decisions are not beauty contests between technologies. They are structured choices under constraints. For each option, compare security, compliance fit, privacy, scalability, ecosystem maturity, cost, and operational complexity. Then connect those factors to business outcomes, such as investor experience, liquidity access, and resilience. Most importantly, name the trade-off. If one option reduces cost but increases control risk, executives need to see that clearly before approving it. An ADR should also capture what the decision creates after it is made: expected benefits, known limitations, dependencies, and residual risks. It should name an owner who monitors those conditions over time. It should also define review triggers. A regulation change, security incident, vendor failure, asset shift, or volume increase can all make a once good decision outdated. Treat the ADR as living governance, not static paperwork. Different architecture diagrams are useful because each one answers a different question. A context diagram shows who interacts with the platform and where the boundary sits. A component diagram shows the services, contracts, APIs, wallets, custody, and compliance pieces that make up the system. Sequence diagrams explain how transactions move over time. Deployment, data flow, and threat models then show where the system runs, how information moves, and where trust boundaries or security risks appear. A context diagram answers the first scope question: what is the platform responsible for, and what remains outside it? That boundary matters when issuers, investors, custodians, banks, regulators, and blockchain networks all interact with the solution. From there, the component diagram turns the boundary into internal structure: APIs, compliance services, token services, smart contracts, custody connectors, reporting, data stores, nodes, wallets, and indexers. Together, they reduce ambiguity before teams start building. These diagrams also make platform behavior easier to test and review. A sequence diagram answers: what happens next? The investor submits a request, identity is verified, compliance is checked, wallet authority is confirmed, the smart contract executes, and settlement and reporting follow. A data flow diagram answers: where does the information go? It traces ID data, transaction instructions, ledger updates, and reports across systems, helping teams validate privacy, controls, custody responsibilities, and operational readiness. Your capstone package is more than a collection of diagrams. It is the professional handoff that connects business goals to architecture choices, implementation steps, and control evidence. Capture why you selected the platform, how the token and contracts behave, how wallets, keys, custody, and settlement work, and how risks are governed. The goal is a package executives can approve, engineers can build from, and compliance teams can assess without guessing. This module gives you that documentation foundation. You now have the foundation for defensible blockchain architecture work: clear deliverables, ADRs that explain trade-offs, and diagram sets that make complex systems reviewable. Next, we'll use these artifacts to compare network models, platforms, SDKs, custody choices, compliance needs, and deployment strategies with much greater confidence.